Hello, Lions fans, and welcome to episode 57 of Just Lying Around, a Detroit Lions podcast presented by the World of Football. I'm your host, Kyle Sutherland, and I am joined by my co-host and brother-in-law, Adam Snow. Adam, we're back to do another episode here. But other than that, how are you doing now that we just got through a bad thunderstorm a couple days ago? Noticed you guys lost power. I lost power as well. Other than that, how are you doing?
I'm all right. We would have had an episode up sooner if Kyle hadn't gotten sick, if we hadn't lost power, if I hadn't done a bunch of yard work yesterday. I mean, it was just a comedy of errors trying to get this show up and going this week. Then he wanted to record today, and of course, Mondays, Dad and I do our arena football show, so I had to schedule Kyle in on the back end of that time slot. So here we are. Organizing World of Football videos is really tough on me, Kyle.
Well, I'm glad you don't have a Michigan UFL Michigan podcast.
Hey, I don't know if I can handle also doing a Michigan Panthers podcast on top of the ones we're already doing. I'm already stretched thin as it is, buddy. So I'm just glad to be talking some Lions. It's been a minute. Let's get into this.
Oh yeah. Yep.
How are you doing?
I'm living the dream every day.
Sounds like you still got a little bit of a cold.
Yeah, it should be over here soon.
By the end of the show?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? It's a miracle. It'll be a miracle. Talking about the Lions. But anyways, on today's show, we're gonna go over the 2025 draft picks for the Lions, and then go over the Lions schedule. They released it last week, so we'll talk a little about that as well. But first, I want to talk to you about the merchandise Adam put up on the tpublic.com there. We got hats, shirts, sweatshirts, cups, stickers, wall art, and even pillows. So all you got to do is just go on the link in the description below and check it out. It'd really help us out there. So if you can do that, that'd be great.
I forgot we even sold merch till you did that little plug. It's been a while.
Got to. Okay. So let's just jump into this Lions 2025 draft picks. I want to start off by saying that even though we drafted some really solid players here, I wasn't really I wouldn't say impressed. I was just disappointed by them not jumping into an edge right away like I hoped they were going to do. Yeah, Adam, how did you feel about the overall draft?
Oh, trust the process, baby. I know we joke about trusting a Brad Holmes, making a shirt with that phrase on it. Trust Brad Holmes, Kyle. It's all we got to keep saying that. Reiterate. I trust this man. Look, is it a sexy draft? No, it's not a sexy draft. No. But when I see all these draft experts saying the Lions got a D, an F, a C, that makes me go, great. That must mean that Brad Holmes knows what he's doing, because these other idiots have been wrong the last few years about draft grades on the Lions, because the Lions have done a pretty good job at drafting the guys that they need to fit this roster. And look, starting with Tyleik Williams, granted, never heard of him. I don't follow Ohio State, don't know much about him, but I know we're getting a great player. All right? That was round 1, pick number 28. In the second round, pick 57, we got...
Let's jump to that here.
I thought we were just...
Williams a little bit. Jeez.
Okay,
well, here.
Hey, look, if you want a whole overall the draft, I think it's solid. I think it's not a sexy draft. I agree with that, and it didn't need to be a sexy draft. I think the Lions got dudes that just fit being Lions, and especially the 6th round pick we're going to talk about. I am stoked for this dude. The Lions got guys that just fit this team, and I couldn't be more excited about that.
All right. So, yeah, let's just jump into the first round there. You already talked about.
Here, take it back then. You take the baton.
We're talking about Tyleik Williams out of Ohio State, defensive tackle. So we already have Lee McNeil. He's going to be out for half the season. So from what I heard from mini rookie training camp or whatever, Tyleik Williams is he's already pushing people around. Granted, they're not really full contact practice yet, but I think him stepping in, I think he's going to do just fine. So, especially with DJ Reader, he only has one more year with the Lions, so I think this is going to be it's a great addition for the Lions. So, yeah, this is a good pick overall. So jumping in round 2, pick 57, they drafted Tate Ratledge, guard out of Georgia. They actually drafted 2 guards here, but the first guy here mainly plays guard, but during minicamp, they were trying him out at center, kind of like a backup piece as well. See how he did, but with Glasgow, I think he's got one more year, I believe, 1 or 2 more years. I think Ratledge or, well, we'll throw in round number 5, Mile Frazier, guard LSU as well. I think Tate Ratledge and Mile Frazier has a good shot of testing Glasgow at that starting position this year, so that'll be interesting. But if Glasgow does get moved to the second string, Glasgow's a good backup guard and a good backup center as well. So that's just added depth for the Lions there.
That's the key. Those 2 guards, just to me says depth. It says guys that could maybe. We've seen them do such a good job the last few years of inserting guards and guards that are also able to jump into that center role, or even when called upon, swap them to the other guard position. We've seen some guys have to play tackle at a couple points. So this is how the Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell Lions are built, with great offensive line depth. And that's what I took from these 2 picks. Great guys at very good depth positions where they could potentially start, or they're very good rotational pieces that you can bring in. And Tate Ratledge, that picture of him hunting, that's the guy we want. That's the guy we want with that mullet. Oh, heck yeah. This dude, can we get him on the podcast, Kyle? Can you make some phone calls? Can we get Tate Ratledge on the show? I would love that.
I'll work on it.
You should. You really should.
Yeah. So let's move on to round 3, pick 70. The Lions decided to draft a wide receiver, Isaac Tisla, out of Arkansas. He's a big body option for Jared Goff. He has great hands, able to pick the ball out of the air. He's not a body catcher; he's a hands catcher. So that's another great addition for Goff when Isaac Tisla gets on the field there. And you also got to note their veteran wide receiver, Tim Patrick. He only has one more year with the Lions, so I think this is another great addition for the Lions moving into the future here.
Well, my big takeaway from is we're getting a guy that actually loves the Lions. He went to his interview with the Lions wearing a Calvin Johnson jersey from his childhood, I think. This is just a dude that wanted to be with the Lions and was a Lions fan, lived in Michigan before went to college, won a state championship with his high school team in Michigan at Ford Field. So it's a great story. And then he's the only Lions guy that went to that NFL rookie photo shoot thing that they always do every year. Seemingly wearing number 18, which is the inverse of Calvin Johnson. If that's not saying, oh boy, we got a stud on our hands. I think we got a stud on our hands. Brad Holmes, I believe, even said that this was his favorite receiver of the whole draft, which is saying something because there were some decent receivers that were taken a couple rounds ahead of him. So could this be another sneaky pick? Like, oh, look, we got Amon-Ra in the 3rd or 4th round when we drafted Amon-Ra. So, yeah,
4th round,
Brad Holmes hitting on wide receivers in the 3rd, 4th round again? Come on. If this dude pans out, I'm excited for this guy. I really am.
Yeah, there's talks out there like other teams were trying to get this guy, and so yeah, the Lions did a good job grabbing this guy while they could. So hopefully, I think this guy's going to work out very good for the Lions.
I'm very excited to see him. Yeah.
So let's talk about the big news here. Round 6, pick 196. the Lions finally decided to draft a edge rusher there. But not only that, a player from Egypt, Ahmed Hassanin, out of Boise State. Um, I think this guy's going to be great. He's still he only played football for 5 years, I believe. So he's still kind of raw, but this guy wants to learn. If he messes up a drill, he's right back in line, cutting in line even, just trying to perfect the drill he's on. But yeah, I think this guy is a born to be Detroit Lion edge rusher.
I like his story. The story. We saw the video of him saying, "I'll die for you, Dan Campbell." And then now his great video at training camp where he talked about this is great. Like they got food in that cafeteria. Like they got all this stuff. It was awesome. Like I'm liking this dude. The more and more he gets to talk in front of a microphone, he's a great little story. I'm pulling for this kid to be something special, especially a 6th-round pick on a guy who's just been playing football for a handful of years now. Kind of gives me some Ezekiel Ansah vibes, but unlike Ezekiel Ansah, who we took didn't we take him like at 5th overall? Like I feel like that was a bit of a reach at that time.
Yeah, it was.
And so at least here, I feel like if it doesn't pan out, it was a 6th-round pick. But I'm pulling for this guy. Wishing nothing but the best, and I'm already digging the dude, and he's already a great personality on this team.
Yep. Hopefully everything works out. I think with the edge defenders they have now, hopefully the veteran there, the old guy, he can stay healthy for at least 10 to 11 games, and hopefully Ahmed can step in and take over there. Because I think once he gets into like the real practices, game time, I think he's gonna learn quickly on how to do his job there.
Yeah.
So we got a couple of round 7 picks here. We'll go through them real quick. Pick 230, they drafted Dan Jackson, safety from Georgia. So we got a lot of Georgia people drafted on this team here. With their current safety they have now, I feel like this is a good pick, even though it's round 7. So a little more depth for that safety room as well.
Yeah.
And then the other round 7 pick, 244, they drafted Dominic Lovett, wide receiver out of Georgia as well. So another backup position there as well. I think he's going to take over for punt returner? What's his name? The guy that got hurt.
Oh, not Khalif Raymond.
Yeah, Khalif Raymond.
Oh,
I think Khalif Raymond's got 1 or 2 more years left.
Oh,
I believe.
So I don't keep track of all that contract stuff, Kyle. That should be your job. I'm sure you got a spreadsheet somewhere.
I do, but we gotta get the old typewriter out to get that.
Typewriter? What the heck? Okay.
But yeah, it sounds like Dominic Lovett's going to be on special teams. He's probably going to be taking over that role as punt returner. So we'll have to see in the future here how that role plays out. So, sure. Let's talk about the Lions 2025 schedule. How about that? Let's start out with the first game of the season, July 31st, Canton, Ohio versus the Chargers. Hall of Fame game. The Detroit Lions are going to be in it. So that'll be interesting. Lions have a extra preseason game.
Yeah, I've wanted to see the Lions in the Hall of Fame game for a long time now. And then to go to the game also. I just wanted to see it on TV, but I'll actually probably be going to the game in July. We got tickets. So I just hate the fact that it is now 4 preseason games again after finally getting rid of them. Now we got 4 preseason games. And I'm already, as much as I hate going to preseason games, this is the lone exception I'm going to make for preseason is the Hall of Fame game. But I already know going in, I'm not going to see Hutch. I'm not going to see Amon-Ra. I'm not going to see St. Brown. I'm not going to see Montgomery. There's going to be so many guys we're not going to see during this game. But I'm hoping I can see some of these rookies that we just drafted. And hopefully it's nice weather. And I've been to that Canton Stadium before, so it should be a fun atmosphere. That's mainly what I'm going for. That and Lions tickets are hella expensive. And to even go see the Cleveland Browns, you got to cough up $300 for a ticket. Like, woof. No, thank you. But Yeah, so a 4-game preseason this year for the Lions, which I'm not happy about.
Yeah, they've already canceled like a mini camp already just because of this game. So, um, yeah, like you said, we ain't gonna see any big stars during this game. It'll probably be the third stringers trying to make the team out there, um, playing their heart out just to get on the team there. So,
Who's our backup quarterback right now? It's not Bridgewater.
no, it's Hendon Hooker, and they signed one more guy.
Well, it'll probably be a lot of Hendon Hooker then.
Yeah, I'd like to, because this year for Hendon Hooker, it's make or break. So he's got to show what he can do in these preseason games to be the backup quarterback.
Yeah, so that's all I'm looking for. I'm looking for some Hendon Hooker improvement, maybe some Tesla action,
Yeah,
and maybe a couple of those other guys last year that didn't get a big shake, So we'll have to wait and see.
yeah, I'd really like to see Sione Vaki in the backfield. I want to see what
All
he
that too,
does.
yeah. Same, yep.
So let's jump
Anyway,
into
enough about the preseason. We got a
yeah.
full regular season schedule to get into, Kyle. We're running out of time. Let's get into it.
All right. So week 1, we are at the Green Bay Packers at 4:25 p.m. Um, Interesting because Green Bay Packers early in the season at their place is going to be great weather. We're not going to be playing them in the rain or snow or all that crap. So overall, I think this is a win for the Lions here. Even though I'm gonna preface this right now, we're not doing the wins or losses yet this
Uh,
episode, but
are we waiting on
I'm just
that?
saying this is in Detroit's favor.
I'm not going to disagree with you there. I want to call it Ford Field, Wisconsin, essentially.
Yeah. So
No,
moving on to the
let's
next
not get
game.
too cocky.
Yeah. Week 2, September 14th, Sunday. Chicago Bears are heading to Detroit Field, 1 p.m. So 2 divisional round games back to back, week 1 and 2. Um, I find that kind of interesting, kind of weird as well. What do you think about that?
I mean, the Lions have a very interesting schedule. I think the beginning part of the schedule is a gauntlet. It's going to be a tough one. There's like some weird balance, like because that's a lot of road games to open up the year, and a lot of good playoff teams. And then you throw the Bears and Browns in there. So like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? But the return, I think, also having the return of Ben Johnson being the first home game of the year, it's going to be electric. It's going to be something else. While I don't think the Bears are going to be a great team, sorry Bears fans, but I'm not sold on the Bears even with Ben Johnson at the helm. That should be interesting. I think doing a couple of division games right off the bat will set the tone for this division that was probably the best division in football till the postseason hit. So, yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Plus, you gotta, as we go through the list here, you gotta think about all these outdoor stadiums too. If they're gonna hit later or early in the season. Speaking of which, week 3 Monday night game, September 22nd at Baltimore Ravens, 8:15. This is gonna be a really big test for the Lions because it seems like Baltimore Ravens has always had the Lions number. So we'll have
Yeah.
to see on that one there.
And their first national televised game of the year comes week 3. The Lions have 5 national televised games all season right now. We'll see what happens with the flex at the end of the year. But yeah, this is one of those types of games. We got a few of these early on that is also part of the schedule that sucks. This is the part that works out for them. While they're all on the road at the beginning of the season, at Baltimore, they're at Cincinnati, at Kansas City, at Washington, at Philadelphia coming up. That's all at the beginning part of the year where the weather's not going to be too bad. They only have one outdoor game towards the end of next season, or at the end of the back half of the season that's outdoors, and that's the last game of the year against Chicago. So I feel like the schedule gave them that at least. While this beginning part's a gauntlet, and they're going to a lot of playoff teams' home fields, it's going to be a test for the Lions for sure. I don't see 15 wins in our future,
No.
but I see a lot of good tests for this team to finally measure themselves up and iron sharpens iron, or whatever the saying is. And I think Dan Campbell's relishing and loving the fact that he gets to play these teams in their building and make some statements.
Yeah.
And then Baltimore starts that one. I don't know if we beat Baltimore right now. I think Baltimore, I think, is going to be a very good team this year. So Detroit's going to have the work cut out for them in that one. I'm not going to lie. But the Lions supposedly have one of the better primetime winning percentages since 2020. So maybe we have that in our favor. I don't know. The Lions have shown up on the primetime games as of late. So maybe the Lions make it a game. Maybe they steal one in Baltimore. I don't know. But hey, bring it on.
We'll have to wait and see there. So moving on to week 4, Sunday, September 28th, Cleveland Browns are heading to Detroit. 1 p.m. game. This should be a breeze for the Lions. So
let's not get too crazy. If Shedeur Sanders is starting by then, we might have to sweat a little bit.
Yeah, with that quarterback carousel they have there, who knows he's gonna start. So moving on to week 5, Sunday, October 5th, at Cincinnati Bengals, 4:25 game. I am looking forward to this game because I kind of enjoy watching Cincinnati Bengals, even though their offense is great, but somehow they just end up losing the games. I don't know what their head coach is doing, but the way Joe Burrow and that offense, they're electric there. So that'll be a good game to watch.
Should be a good game, yep.
So week 6, Sunday, October 12th at Kansas City Chiefs. Night game, 8:20 p.m. This will be a great game as well. Early in the season, so we're not fighting that cold weather, snow. So I think this will be a good game as well.
Same, should be fun. Jared Goff has never lost to Patrick Mahomes, so should be a very interesting, fun Sunday night rematch from a couple years ago when we opened the season against the Chiefs.
Yeah, and then we have what is that? Is that right? Week 7, Monday, October 20th, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home, 7 p.m. Is that right?
Maybe they could be doing that dumb doubleheader crap where there's another Monday night game that week.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Buccaneers at home. This will be a good game as well. Baker Mayfield and the Bucks offense are just electric. Their defense flies around as well, so another great game to watch here.
Yeah, the last few times the Lions and Bucks have met up with Baker Mayfield at the helm, they have been great games. All of these games have been great games. Lions have taken a couple. The Bucks took the game last year, beating Detroit in Detroit. So I think Detroit's going to be motivated for a little revenge against Baker, but it should be a heck of a game, especially right before they go into their bye week the next week.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Lions move up 3 spots from last year, week 5 bye to week 8 bye. So sort of right in the middle of their schedule, which I think is good. Kind of gives them a little rest before they head into the final push into the playoffs. So yeah.
Yep.
Then we got week 9, Sunday, November 2nd. Minnesota Vikings are heading to Detroit, 1 p.m. game. We'll finally get to see how J.J. McCarthy does as their quarterback against the Lions. So that'll be an interesting watch there. And then week 10, Sunday, November 9th at Washington Commanders, 4:25 game. I think the Lions are out for revenge, and I think the Lions are going to pummel the Washington Commanders on this game.
I won't go as far as pummel them. I mean, the Commanders are a good young team. We'll see how they bounce in season 2 under their quarterback there, who I'm blanking on at the top of my head. Why am I blanking on his name? He was great.
Their quarterback.
Yeah, their quarterback. Come on, help me out here. He kicked our butts. Jaden Daniels, thank you. Jaden Daniels was great against us last year. We'll see if he can keep up the sophomore campaign as good as his rookie campaign. Should be interesting. This is gonna be a tough one for Detroit. No, not gonna lie. Now that we know what Washington is now, that's gonna be a tough one.
Yep, I'll see. So talking about week 11 here, the rookies should be getting their legs under them by now. So we have Sunday, November 16th at Philadelphia Eagles night game, 8:20 p.m. Um, this is going to be a really good matchup here. This is
God, I
another,
hope so.
yeah, this is another one of those games. If you can't watch because it's a late game, make sure you record it. Um, but yeah, if you can stay up, I definitely watch this game.
Like I think going up against the Super Bowl champs, is what we kind of wanted last year in the playoffs, the Lions versus Eagles game, which we never ended up getting. Just to see, because those were two teams that it was hard to tell who could beat the other. Like if Philadelphia came to Detroit, would Detroit have won? Or if Detroit went to Philly, would Philly have won? Hard to say. Philadelphia clearly the best team last year. Whatever, they won the Super Bowl. Now, curious to see how Philadelphia, after winning that Super Bowl, and what kind of load Saquon's taken. Because Saquon ran the ball a lot last year. Can he do it again 2 years in a row at the same clip? That's going to be the question. And they got new offensive coordinator. We got a new offensive coordinator. There's a lot here, but I still think these will be two teams putting together a good game. And at this point in the season, both these teams should be staring at playoffs. So a lot of playoff positioning here too on the line. So very excited. Another primetime game.
Yep. So moving on to week 12, Sunday, November 23rd. The New York Giants and Jackson Dart are traveling to Detroit at 1 p.m. I think this is going to be a snooze fest, and the Lions are going to steamroll the Giants. So we'll have to wait and see there.
We'll have to wait and see. You never know. They could be like the Commanders were last year. We thought the Commanders would be a cakewalk, and they were anything but.
Anything with the New York in their name are cursed. So isn't going to happen.
Well, we'll see.
So let's talk about week 13, Thanksgiving, Thursday, November 27th. We have a divisional round game. Green Bay Packers are heading to the Detroit Lions for not 12:30, but 1 o'clock game. Adam, what do you think about that time change there?
Just gives me an extra half hour to stuff my face before kickoff. That's all I take that as. I always thought it was weird that we started the game at 12:30 instead of 1 o'clock. Like all the Sunday games are at 1. Why is this one different? I don't know. I'm okay with it. Doesn't bother me.
All right.
As long as they wear their throwbacks. That's all I want. Wear your sticking throwback jerseys on Thanksgiving. Green Bay do the same. God, why can't we get this? Should be easy. Figure this out.
Who did they play last year in Thanksgiving?
On Thanksgiving, it was the was it the Bears?
Let me ask you a question. Would you rather have a divisional game on Thanksgiving or like let's say they threw Cincinnati Bengals or Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Thanksgiving versus the Lions?
And it was the Bears, by the way. I had to look it up. I like the divisional games on Thanksgiving, but they got to start wearing the throwbacks. Dang it! That's what I want. That's what I think would make it great. Dallas should play their division rivals. We should play our division rivals on Thanksgiving. That's how it should be. I'm also okay with like the once in a while playing like if the schedule would have shaken out a little differently, I would have loved to have seen a Kansas City on Thanksgiving. That would have been a good one. If you could bring in the Cleveland Browns, well, we bring in Cleveland to town. Having Cleveland come in on Thanksgiving, classic NFL matchup there.
Yeah, 'cause 2 years ago they had Buffalo Bills on Thanksgiving, and that was a great game.
Yeah, we lost it, so it wasn't so great, but
well, it was close at the end there.
But I think they had a bunch of great options that they could have done. They could have brought Pittsburgh, kind of been a few years. Pittsburgh, Detroit on Thanksgiving. Then they could just replay that clip of the '98 Thanksgiving with the coin toss, or 2000, whatever year that was with the coin toss. So I don't know. I'm okay with. I love the Division One, but maybe I think they do it right every few years, giving us a random team that you don't see a whole lot on Thanksgiving.
All right. So yeah, I don't know. I think hope next year that they throw in like a wild, like not in a division game for the Thanksgiving game next year.
Well, we'll see.
So, Adam, do you have Prime Video?
I do. I watch a lot of stuff on Prime. Pop Culture Jeopardy's been great. They got a Batman animated series on there. I
Okay,
mean, The
whoa,
Boys.
okay.
What? We're not talking about Prime Video now?
So, speaking of Prime Video, Week 14, Thursday, December 4th, Dallas Cowboys at home at Detroit, 8:15 p.m. Prime Video. So, if you don't have Prime Video, get it because I think the Detroit Lions are going to put a whooping to the Dallas Cowboys here.
God, I hope so. But I like that this is one aspect of the schedule I like that they've been doing the last couple years now is if you play the Thanksgiving game, seems like they've been giving everybody like a Thursday game the next week.
Yeah.
I think isn't that what happened last year? Like we played the Thanksgiving game and then the next Thursday we played the Packers on Prime Video. And that was a great game. Now this year you got the two main Thanksgiving teams, Dallas and Detroit, a week after the Thanksgiving game. So I think that works out. So I like that, and then that kind of gives Detroit a mini bye there, going into their next game, which will be a big one against the Rams.
Yeah, 10 days of rest. So yeah, Week 15, Sunday, December 14th, at Los Angeles. One sec. Wife's calling me. 4:25. This will be a good game. I think this is Stafford's exit last year. So kind of one second here.
Do you need to answer the wife?
Man, one sec.
Okay. We can cut this part out, Kyle.
No, I'll talk to her in a bit. We're almost done. Wow,
just shutting her out. She's gonna watch this later, Kyle.
So yeah, this will be a good game overall, I think. So Adam, make sure you get your tissues ready. I don't want you crying watching Stafford last time playing the Lions there.
Oh, it won't be the last time. NFC Championship, baby. We're gonna see him.
Okay. If they can get that far.
Oh, they will. And so will we.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
We are, but we're gonna go through Stafford to do it. Okay. I'm calling it right now. Do we need to speed through this so you can answer your wife's phone?
Nope.
Call?
I'm good. We're good.
Okay.
So
right,
Week 16, so. Sunday, December 21st. Pittsburgh Steelers are at Detroit, 4:25 game on CBS. This will be a good game as well, especially when they don't have a quarterback yet. We could possibly see Aaron Rodgers and a Pittsburgh Steelers game or uniform. Probably last throw of the game could be a interception by Kirby Joseph to seal that deal there.
Aaron Rodgers is going to quit on this Steelers team like 3 games into the season. I'm not even worried about him.
Well, first he's going to blow the team up, bring in his own guys, and then quit.
Can't wait for that circus to retire.
So we got 2 more games here. Week 17, Thursday, December 25th at Minnesota. Yeah, at Minnesota. I really enjoy my Christmas, especially when I got Lions playing. So, but
do you though,
Adam, do you have Netflix?
I do have Netflix, Kyle. I watch great shows on there, like Love on the Spectrum. I also watch the Avatar show. They got a great show called Arcane. If you haven't seen that, that's pretty good. Yeah. They got a plethora of other content, Kyle. They're releasing new stuff every day. Netflix is.
So yeah, if you don't have Netflix, you ain't watching this game because it's on Netflix. On Christmas, 4:30 p.m.
At 4:30. When I told my fiance that we have a Thanksgiving game, now we have a Christmas game, she just rolled her eyes. So the Lions just taking our holidays from us.
Yeah, well, we'll see how many. I'm interested to see how many people are mad about this.
Are we gonna be at your house watching the game, Kyle? Having family Christmas at your place? Is that what we're doing?
I
think that's what we should do. Let's start planning it right now. Your place. Now you got I have the bigger TV, but you have the bigger house to watch the game.
What we could do is take your TV, put it over here.
Oh, you want to come?
I'll give you our TV.
we're not trading TVs. If you want to come and we can bring it over for the game, and then you help me bring it back. That's fine.
That's not gonna work. Okay, so moving on to the last game at Chicago Bears. Time and date are to be determined. I think this is a seeding game, or if the Chicago Bears aren't right on the cusp of getting into the playoffs, or the Detroit Lions getting into the playoffs, I think this is going to be a primetime game. If
it won't
not,
be.
yeah, if it doesn't really mean anything, it's going to be a 1 o'clock game. So
the Bears are only going to win 4 games this year. I'm calling it now. Spoiler alert: Bears are only winning 4 games.
Well, yeah, because they don't let their they don't make their quarterback watch tape. He just gets out there and does it.
Whatever. I don't know. I got a video coming where I predict the whole NFL schedule and all that. So, I would spoiler: the Bears are going to win 4 games.
Okay, so yeah, that's your 2025 schedule. We'll have another video out later as the season gets more closer, predicting the wins or losses there. And so yeah, anything else you want to add?
I got nothing. I'm just excited for the Lions to get back on the field, but not looking forward to 4 preseason games right now, Kyle.
Yeah.
And as long as you can work on getting that Tate Ratledge in.
Yeah, I'll just bring it up to my parents' farm. We'll go deer hunting together.
I'd watch that video. All right, I'd watch that video. All right, guys, we hope you enjoyed listening to today's episode and come back for more. Be sure to visit the World of Football's website, www.theworldoffootball.com, for news, links, upcoming events, original articles, videos, and more. If you want to get in touch with us, send us an email to info@theworldoffootball.com, or you can connect with us by either liking the World of Football on Facebook or following the World of Football's X account. Those links will be down in the episode description. Be sure to check out our flagship podcast, This Week in the World of Football. We're episode 394 goes out Tuesday, May 20th. So I don't know when this video will go up, either Monday night or Tuesday, but new episode of the podcast coming out. And be sure to check that out. Available where all good podcasts can be found. And in a few weeks, episode 400, Kyle, is coming up, and you might have to participate in that. So looking forward to bringing you onto the show there. You can find that every Tuesday on your podcast feed or the YouTube channel here. Again, links down in the description below.
All right, that's it for us this week. Remember to check out tpublic.com for the Just Lying Around merchandise. Link in the description below. Really help us out there. I'd like to see a few people walking around with some shirts on and hats on. That'd be great. But yeah,
any shirt, any hat. We don't want to see bare-chested people.
Okay, yeah, all right. We got a comedian on our hand. So yeah, we got a video coming out later. As soon as the season gets closer, talking about wins or losses prediction, what happened in training camp, and all that good stuff. So be on the lookout. But until then, thanks for watching, and remember, go Lions.
Go Lions, baby. That was good. Did your cold go away?
No.
Oh, that's a bummer.